Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. So recently I've made a video about the iPhone SE that could drop to $199, which is below $200. But now this cheaper iPhone SE is not just a rumor anymore. Even big companies such as Bloomberg start writing about it, which means that it most likely will be the next launch of Apple on the next Apple event. So what we are talking about here is a new iPhone SE, which will be priced at $199. It will be starting at $199, and probably the higher the storage, the more expensive. I mean, if you buy a 64 gigabyte, you will get it for $199. But if you upgrade to 128 gigabyte, you most likely will pay around $300, I guess. Those prices are not confirmed. The only price that's confirmed right now is $199 price. And reason they do so, and I talked about it in the previous video, is because they want to target those third world countries, such as in Africa and India. Many people are using Android just because of the price range. Potentially, these people can now use Apple products as well. But it's not about the price margin. I mean, we all know that Apple tried to aim for a price margin for about 30 to 40%. And with a $199 iPhone, that price margin cannot be at 40%. That's not possible. Apple needs to pay their manufacturer. You may probably know that these components of the iPhone are separately bought everywhere around the world. So you might be thinking that China is making these iPhones solely, but that's not the case. Those components are coming from everywhere in the world. So to get a 30 to 40% margin, that's a bit ambitious. What's more likely though, and what we know from Apple, is that they are more than happy to sell you this iPhone, just because then you will be using their gadgets such as the Apple Watch, AirPods, and whatnot. Also, now the more people will have iPhones, the more people will connect their credit card to App Store. And you may have an iPhone right now, but if you want to buy something out of the App Store, you just have to confirm that purchase, and Apple will handle that whole payment process for you. Because you already connected your credit card to the iPhone, to the Apple Store, and purchases are now more likely to become true. There was an article in the past that stated that iOS apps are more likely, or iOS users are more likely to sell or to buy those apps instead of Android users. If you have an Android, probably you can have the same game or the same application without even paying for it, because there are so many ways to outsmart the system and buy or have your hands on that expensive app that you would have paid for it on the iOS system. That's another thing that Apple aims for. The more people have iPhones in their hand, the more likely they will buy those apps, which means that the more companies will aim for making iOS apps on the Apple ecosystem, which means that ecosystem will expand forever. Will they have success with an iPhone SE for $199 in those countries? I don't think so, to be honest. Why? Because those people don't like small phones. They like a big phone that has many features, that has an OLED screen, that has good camera. And if Apple will just launch an iPhone with one camera lens, chances are that those people will not buy it. They want to see at least 2 or 3 camera lenses, just like the high-end models. I mean, if we look to the Oppo phones, we know, or we see, that those components are the ones that are used on the flagship phones, such as the iPhone 13 Pro or the Samsung Galaxy S22 and whatnot. But if Apple will just produce a regular iPhone such as this one, it might have 5G connection, it might have an A14 Bionic chip, and all of that. It might have this snappy touch ID button, all of that, a good chassis around it. But people, especially people from Africa and India, are more likely to gravitate towards those cheaper phones, but the ones that have these high-end components. Yeah, that's my thought. Obviously, Apple will not leave it just at that phone. They will eventually expand to a more upgraded phone in the coming years. They all start with just a cheap model, and after, if it has success, they will expand it to a more beautiful model. I would say that Apple will be smart enough to produce a phone like this one, but then for $199. But I very doubt that. I think, and most likely, the new iPhone SE will look something like this one and not something like the 12 or 13 models. So yeah, that's something that I'm more willing to look for in the next event. And yeah, that's my 2 cents. I hope you like this video. Give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.